Well, hello there. Thank you so very much for joining me for this week's reflection. I'm Susan Short, and I have the good fortune of serving College Lutheran Church in Salem, Virginia, as the Director of Music Ministry. We have used our Thursday reflections as a time to learn more about the hymns and special music that will be a part of upcoming Sunday worship experiences. However, as I continue to reflect and mourn the passing of longtime College Lutheran Church member Nancy Spraker, I'd like to take a bit of a different direction today. I first met Nancy in 2004 when my family and I moved to Salem and started attending College Lutheran Church. We were a part of the 8:30 a.m. worship contingency and quickly learned that if Nancy met you at the door and needed an extra usher, the answer was always, "Yes, Nancy, we will be happy to help." Nancy contributed to the life of our congregation in so many ways, both in worship and leadership. She served as a member and officer of church council. She was on altar guild. She served as an usher, and she was the arranger of the flower schedule. And most recently, she served as a church trustee. When I became the director of music ministry, I often sought out Nancy for advice regarding hymn selection and choir anthems. I asked her to provide accompaniment to various flutists. I asked her to serve as substitute organist and often as organist for special occasions. She was a talented musician that generously shared her talents and gifts with our congregation and truly provided me with endless support. It was a privilege and a joy to serve alongside of Nancy in a number of capacities. And while we were preparing for Sunday or any special music occasion and we were in rehearsal, we got to learn about our many similarities. We both were given the same middle name, Elizabeth. We're both graduates of Shenandoah College and Conservatory of Music. We both have served as teachers and administrators in educational settings, and we both played for chapel services at Brandon Oaks. And yes, Bob Ward, Nancy was the one that convinced me that I wanted to play for the residents at Brandon Oaks on a regular basis. I came to love those special moments when Nancy would drop by and introduce me to those most familiar and beloved Baptist hymns. I have one of her Baptist hymnals sitting on my desk in the church office. Once, while preparing for a funeral service at church, I asked Nancy to accompany me on a couple of flute pieces that I had selected to be used as a part of the prelude music. When we got to practice, she said to me, "Hey, I have another piece for us to play. Do you want to give it a try?" And I learned early on in my relationship with Nancy that no was never the appropriate answer. So I said, "Absolutely, what is it?" Well, it was the hymn "Going Home" that was a part of the new National Baptist Hymnal, the 21st Century Edition. Of course, it was written in a key that involved 5 flats and was very difficult for a flutist to play. So in honor and memory of my forever friend, an extraordinary member and contributor at College Lutheran Church, this week's reflection focuses on the music of Dvorak and text writer William Arms Fisher. Dvorak wrote the Symphony No. 9 from the New World soon after arriving in America in 1893. Dvorak was a classical Czech composer, and he had come to New York City to be the director of the National Conservatory of Music of America, a conservatory founded in 1885 with a goal of cultivating American music. Dvorak soon began working on the symphony, which he said reflected his impressions and greetings from the New World. He brought to it his studies of spirituals and Native American music, as well as his very own Czech culture. A yearning melody from the second movement took on a new life as a popular American song that continues to be reinvented. The theme played by a solo English horn, which begins the second movement, the Largo movement, at one time spawned debate as to its origins. Was it a spiritual? Was it a gospel hymn? A Czech folk tune? Or most likely something new, informed by all of these? Many believe that Dvorak's piece was a reflection of feeling lonely in America and longing to return to his European roots, to his home. One of Dvorak's students, William Arms Fisher, put put words to the longing melody from the second movement. He called the new song Going Home and had it published in 1922. A little bit of trivia: Apollo 11 astronaut Neil Armstrong took a taped recording of the New World Symphony with him during the first moon landing in 1969. I've included 2 links to recordings of this second movement in today's reflection. One is performed by the Dublin Philharmonic, and I hope you enjoy that haunting melody of the English horn solo that reflects Dvorak's longing for home. The second is a choral performance, which I know Nancy would have loved, and it is performed by the Australian National University School of Music Chamber Choir. As you listen to both of these, do take a moment to reflect on a life well lived. Nancy's face certainly speaks to and serves as a testimony to much of the text in this hymn. Going home, I'm going home. Quiet like some still day, I'm going home. Work all done, care laid by, never fear no more. Morning star light the way, restless dreams all gone. Shadows gone, break a day, I am going home.